County, and welcome into another edition of SunTV. We all hope you're all well, warm, happy, and you're probably still full from Thanksgiving. Joining me, as always, is the editor and publisher of the Sun Advocate, Deanne Campbell.
Hello, Clint. How are you doing?
I'm full.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I'm still full too.
Yeah, I'm done.
In fact, that's kind of what we're going to talk about today a little bit. Let's talk about Thanksgiving and what happened over the weekend as far as how much we consumed, where we went, and what we did.
Well, ladies first, go ahead.
Well, what did you eat, Clint?
Everything.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. They say the average American will consume 2,000 to 5,000 calories during the course of a Thanksgiving meal. Let's just let it suffice to say that I covered that and then some.
But you're not supposed to count that day.
Well, we didn't count. It's probably a good thing we didn't count, because when you go to your mother's and your mother-in-law's, they labor under the delusion that you had not eaten since last Thanksgiving. So,
see, that's our job as mothers, to make sure that we feed you enough for 364 other days of the year, so that we feel good about our parenthood.
I think our mothers, and thank God for them, but I think they took the Bible story of Jesus feeding the 5,000, and they applied that to us. So,
which is what we're supposed to do.
Did a great job.
I wonder how many people actually ate what the Pilgrims ate on the first Thanksgiving. Do you know what they actually ate that day, Clint?
Butterball turkeys?
Well, not quite. Well, they did eat wild turkey. But here are some of the things, according to historical records, if you can believe the records passed down. The first Thanksgiving dinner included, of course, wild goose or duck, wild turkey, deer, flint corn, fish, shellfish, and eel.
Eel, wow.
Yeah, eel. Did you eat an eel Thursday?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
You know, some of us were ill after we ate.
Very.
But I don't know that I've ever even had an eel at any time, much less on Thanksgiving.
I don't think so.
So, the other facts about the first Thanksgiving. Did you know that there were 50 pilgrims and 90 tribesmen who were at that feast? And they, this didn't become a holiday until 1863.
Right.
Do you know who is credited with actually pushing for it to become a holiday?
Was it President Lincoln?
He's the one that named it a holiday finally, but there was a lady named Sarah Josepha Hale who had been pushing for this for quite a number of years, 36 years actually. She finally bugged Abraham Lincoln enough that he named it a national holiday in 1863. She's the same lady who wrote the nursery rhyme, Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Wow.
Just a little piece of information that you might not have known. So what about this year? The statistics about Thanksgiving are a little bit shocking. But 96% of Americans actually had a family meal of some sort on Thanksgiving. 28% of them had more than 12 people at dinner that day. And the average time, I don't believe this is true, but it says that the average time spent cooking is 7 hours, but I doubled that. If you count desserts and all, you have to do all this stuff the day before,
Sure.
so those hours count too. Pecan pie, sweet potato casserole.
My blood sugar just went up.
Banana pudding, all that. So all this stuff takes time, and I can't believe it's just 7 hours.
No,
You can cook a turkey for 7 hours if it's a big one.
Absolutely. It took me 8 hours to do a turkey.
Yeah. So the average time you spend eating, though, is 16 minutes. So we had this conversation at our Thanksgiving dinner that we spent 2 days cooking and 15 minutes eating.
I think we went over that.
15 minutes?
I know
16
I went
minutes?
over that big time.
Well, I guess if you drag it out over the whole weekend, when you just eat and eat and eat for 3 days straight, it's far more than 16 minutes.
I agree with that one.
88% of people had turkey. I'm sure there's a lot that chose to have the ham, but in fact, 46 million turkeys were consumed last week.
Wow.
And that's about the average for every year. 46 million birds. That's a lot of birds.
That is a lot of birds.
And what kind of pie did you eat?
I'm serious. I got to
pies. Maybe that's your plural.
Well, let's see here. We had pumpkin pie cheesecake. Pecan cheesecake. We had apple cake. You said pie though. Pumpkin pie. Another pecan pie. Apple pie. Buttermilk pie. Coconut pie.
Well, the most popular one is pumpkin pie. 57% of people ate pumpkin pie on Thursday.
Yeah, I see Annie over here. She's like, good one.
Another-
I told you we didn't play around this weekend.
Another 14% had pecan pie and 9% had sweet potato pie. And then all the other percentages, some of the pies all fell in between there. What about the travel? Did you go anywhere?
Well, I got drugged to the ball on Black Friday.
I'm sorry. Me too. All night long, Thursday night, my daughters dragged me to the Kingsport, Tennessee mall. And it was a 12-hour ordeal. At one point, I got in the car and slept.
I don't blame you.
And it was cold. And my daughters will stand out in the cold waiting for a store to open for hours. That's not my idea of fun. I'll tell you, a lot of people spend a lot of time on the road, and that is, of course, the most heavily traveled time of the
Right.
year. But I can tell you that I spent 20 hours in the road over the holiday period. 20 hours. In fact, I spent 10 hours Sunday trying to get home.
You must have got. I was gonna say you got trapped in Chattanooga.
I did. In fact, there was a period of about 2.5 hours that I didn't exceed 20 miles an hour.
Right.
It was ridiculous. But about 43 million people do travel every year for Thanksgiving, and the average person drives just 41.9 miles, which is a jaunt.
Yeah.
So, compared to some folks that travel all over the country for that. The worst driving time was Wednesday from 3 to 5, but I beg to differ. I think it was Sunday.
Everybody headed home.
Everybody was going home. I was in a bad place to be because it was up in the area where people go to the mountains. So.
Right.
So Turkey Day's over, and I guess we get to the next big thing. But I have a bone to pick with some of these folks who start playing Jingle Bells before we get to eat the turkey.
Thank you. They've been playing Jingle Bells since the 1st of November.
Or October.
Yeah. 4th of July.
That's
really.
right. And really, now that the turkey's over, we get down to the heavy shopping time. Today's Cyber Monday, so if you're inclined to do that and want to go fight the internet for a while, it gets a little sluggish, but have at it, because it's the time. 'Tis the season.
I'd rather do that than have to go through Friday again.
Well, yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about that now. What's going on in sports, if we want to talk about this?
Well,
are you in a state of depression?
well, yeah, and no. I mean, Alabama didn't bring their game.
No, they didn't play at all. They didn't play.
No, you didn't take. You got to take your hat off to Coach Gus Malzahn and his crew. They had Alabama's number. They had a great game plan, and they
did.
They whipped Alabama.
Yeah.
That's just all there is.
Now
to
they
it.
go on to play Georgia again.
Yeah, and then the thing is, Alabama. Anything can happen with this committee.
Yeah.
But silly season has started in not just the SEC, but the coaching carousel is in full swing. Kevin Sumlin is gone at Texas A&M. Brett Bielema is gone at Arkansas. Dan Mullen has left Mississippi State and is headed to Florida. They've got a mess going on in Knoxville, trying to replace their head coach. Big story, though, in our area. How about UWA? And I know a lot of folks they have not paid attention to that, but UWA
they're hitting some national.
They're heading into the national semifinals.
That's right.
That game will be at Tiger Stadium in Livingston at noon Saturday. They'll play West Florida. If they win that, they're really doing some good things. On the local scene, the Sweetwater Bulldogs. They knocked off defending state champion Maplesville Friday night. They advanced to the semifinals. Let's see here. Leroy is in the semifinals. So some good high school action around here in
football. Of course, we haven't talked about this on air, but we have a trophy in our county.
We sure do. We have not been together since then, but and it's congratulations to the Patrician Academy Saints.
That's right.
They won their 9th state championship in football. Not this past Friday, but Friday before last over at Troy. Had a great game plan. One of the best, and I'm not just saying this because it's a county team.
Yeah, those boys played their heart out.
One of the best high school games I've ever seen. And hats off to Coach Lindsay and his staff, and the Saint Nation.
That's right. And all the people who are standing behind them, the cheerleaders and the band and all of that, deserve a lot of credit.
That was a team effort in every sense of the word.
That's right. Well, it's time for holiday parades, and we've got a list of them, several of them coming up this week. Silas has their tree lighting ceremony Wednesday night, 6:30 at the Municipal Complex. So don't miss that. It's a lot of fun. There's kids usually sing some songs. There's some good music and some food afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not too full from all the turkey and stuff, go to Silas and let's participate in their tree lighting this Wednesday night, 6:30. Gilbertown's parade is this Friday, December the 1st. The parade will be at 6. There'll be vendors on the square, a lot of stuff going on, and of course they'll have what has become a tradition over the last couple of 3 years is the fireworks show.
Exactly.
They're going to have it. It's a big deal. So come to Gilbertown this Friday for all of that. The town of Pennington's will be next. Their parade is this Saturday, December the 2nd. Lineup is at 11. And the parade starts at noon, and they tell me that they are allowing entrance in that parade at no cost. So if you want to participate, ride in that parade, you're welcome to do so. So that's this Saturday. The parade starts at noon. The town of Butlers will be the following Thursday, December the 7th. That parade is around the courthouse square at 6 o'clock. They'll have the Voices of Mobile singing in a concert afterwards at 7, and I believe that's at the First Assembly of God Church. The town of Listman has set its annual parade for Saturday, December 9th. That's at 11 a.m. And this year, I'm told today that the town of Toxie will not have a holiday parade. They're going to not do that this year. So there won't be one going on in Toxie. You people who live in Toxie, come to Gilbertown, Butler, Silas, and Pennington, and Listman, and enjoy our festivities. And I know that y'all will be welcome anywhere you go to take part in those celebrations. So that's the lineup for holiday events in the county this year, Clint, and there's something to keep us busy all the way up to the big day.
Oh, well, and it's here, folks.
Yeah, it is.
The question is, have you been naughty? Have you been nice? Or are you just going to tell Santa, you know what, I'll just buy my own stuff this year?
I'm not commenting on that.
Well,
We all buy our own stuff all year.
Oh, yeah.
You know how we're spoiled. It's not like you have to wait till Christmas to get your goodies like you used to do.
well, it's like this. And I told somebody the other day, somebody asked me, they said, Clint, what do you want for Christmas? I've gotten to the age that most things I want I can have anyway. I mean, you know, you can't buy family, you can't buy health. We're blessed way more than we deserve.
That's true. Well, truth be told, we all have way too much.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can't complain in that department.
Not at all.
So, letters to Santa are coming up.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
working on that now.
I'm working on mine right now.
Yeah. You're not invited to participate.
I'm going to lie about my age. No, yeah.
Okay. Letters to Santa will be coming up in our December 20th issue, so the kids will be bringing in their letters. We're getting those forms out today, actually. So kids from ages up to 2nd grade are welcome to send their letters in to us, and then we'll forward them on to the North Pole from there.
There you go.
So we'll be glad to get your letter in to Old St. Nick and make sure you get what you want this year.
Okay.
Well, not you, Clint.
Okay. Well, I tried.
So that's our show for today, folks. I'm Deanne Campbell. This is Clint Franks, and we invite you to participate this week in the Silas Tree Lighting and the Gilbertown Parade. Thank you.